before Eddie Van Halen picked up a guitar, rock sounded one way. After Eddie Van Halen, it was never the same again. This is the story of the kid from Pasadena who became the most influential guitarist. Eddie Van Halen wasn't just a guitarist, he was a revolution. Born in Amsterdam in 1955, Eddie moved with his family to Pasadena in 1962. They came with a piano, a few dollars, and absolutely no idea that Eddie would become the new face of a new era in rock. Eddie grew up playing classical piano, competing in recitals. Yes, Eddie Van Halen started as a pianist. He couldn't read music. He memorized everything by ear. That gift later shaped him and his unique guitar sound. When Alex started taking over the drums, Eddie switched from piano to the guitar, and that's when everything changed. By the mid-1970s, the Van Halen brothers teamed up with David Lee Roth and Michael Anthony. They were loud, flashy, and unlike anyone in LA's club scene. They built their fan base playing backyard parties so wild that the cops would shut them down. But those parties shaped their sound raw, fast, and unforgettable. In 1978, Van Halen dropped their debut album, and right in the middle of it was a 1-minute, 42-second track called Eruption. When guitarists heard it, they couldn't believe it was real. Finger tapping wasn't new, but Eddie Van Halen made it iconic. He turned it into a weapon, a whole new language. That solo changed guitars forever. Throughout the 80s, Van Halen exploded. Albums like 1984 and hits like Jump, Panama, and Hot for Teacher made them global superstars. When Sammy Hagar joined in 1985, the band didn't slow down, they just evolved. More melody, more radio hits, still pure Eddie. Every era Van Halen had one constant, was Eddie Van Halen's guitar. Eddie just wasn't a player, he was an inventor. He built the Frankenstrat, mixing pieces from different guitars to create the sound he heard in his head. He helped design amps, pickups, and effects that guitars still use today. His tone wasn't an accident, it was engineered. Behind the scenes, Eddie battled alcohol, hip surgeries, and later cancer. But even on his hardest days, the music stayed with him. He was a fighter, on stage and off. Eddie Van Halen passed away in 2020, but his influence will never will. He inspired generations of players, everyone from metal shredders to pop artists. And every time someone taps a guitar solo, they're borrowing a little piece of Eddie. Eddie Van Halen didn't just play guitar, he redefined what it could be. This was the life, the career, and the legacy of a man who changed music forever. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one.